Megan and Lauren, thank you for taking the time out to speak with us today. We really appreciate it. By now, the whole world basically knows what's going on your campus. And I think we can actually start off by asking what's happening. What is the general sentiment with the student population at the University of Oklahoma?
I'd say it's tense. There is some tension. You can kind of feel it walking through campus. It's definitely uncomfortable for some people because I think people are wondering if one group is mad at the other, the outcome. White people, things like that. Are white people mad at black people? And so it's very tense at the moment.
Now, was this video a surprise to you guys?
No, the video wasn't a shock. We were upset, we were angry, but the video and its content wasn't shocking at all to us.
Now, why wasn't it shocking?
It wasn't shocking just because on a day-to-day basis we deal with different types of racism, not as blunt as the video, but as far as like microaggressions and other forms of racism, we definitely deal with it.
Now, one of the ringleaders of the chant, his name is Parker Rice. He's spoken out and said that he's worried for the safety of his frat brothers. Now, how does that make you feel that he's speaking out and he's saying that he's worried about his safety after he actually was in a chant, you know, talking about hanging the N-word on trees?
You know, I hope that he's not receiving death threats, and I hope people really aren't trying to carry anything out against him, because it's really not worth it. But it is ironic that, you know, you sit here singing songs about lynching folks, and then you're worried about your life, but you threatened people's lives. And whether you realize what you were doing or not, how are people supposed to respond to that?
Now, is it his fault? Because a lot of people in the media are even saying that, you know, if they can say it in the setting at a Kanye West concert, what's the big deal with him saying it with his frat brothers on the bus? How do you combat that?
You know,
you're laughing. What's going on? Wait, tell me what's on your mind, Lauren.
So I think we take away this personal responsibility from people. The only reason, it comes back all the time, and sometimes there are some white people that question why black people can use the N-word with no problem and white people can't. And really what it comes down to is they just don't like being told no sometimes. And that's just the reality. But I think some of the same people that are complaining about hip-hop, you know, and black people being able to use the N-word when they want to, are probably some of the same people that don't think we should have better gun control laws, too, when elementary schools are getting shut up. So make up your mind.
Now, are you guys satisfied with the expulsions and the actions that the University of Oklahoma, the president, has been taking?
Yes, I think we're satisfied with the action that President Boren has taken, but we're going to try and focus on making this whole thing a learning experience for everybody across campus, and not just focus on this one incident, because there's tons of other things that need attention as far as diversity and inclusion on the campus at the University of Oklahoma.
How do you plan on making this a learning experience when the campus is so tense?
Right now, the good thing is that there are a lot of different departments that are actively trying to get involved. We had a rally protesting on Monday morning that was so many people there, probably close to 1,000, maybe a little more. And a lot of them are staff members in different departments. There are people from all the communities across OU that are represented, and people that are kind of outraged by the incident and wanting to take steps to make things better. And I think it just comes a step at a time. I think there's a policy thing that we're trying to get pushed that would help. But it's just we taking a step at a time. But luckily, when the group got it started, we had some grievances and some things that we were trying to push anyways. And then this happened, and while it's unfortunate, kind of showed why these grievances are important and why it's important to push some of these things in terms of policy.
So how does policy and systematic racism go hand in hand in this particular situation that's going down at your campus?
Mm-hmm. The thing about systematic racism is people think that if you're not saying the N-word, then it's not racism. And people don't really have an understanding of what systematic racism is, and it's something that's ingrained in policy and policies that aren't equitable for marginalized populations. And so what it does is it brings to the forefront an opportunity for people to learn about what these things are, and to learn that just because you're not using the N-word doesn't mean you're not doing something that further marginalizes groups that are already marginalized. Things that disproportionately affect Black students and other students of color, things that disproportionately affect Black staff members. Like, it's a lot that goes on, not just at OU, but at a lot of different schools across the country, and a lot of different institutions besides colleges and universities too.
With the spotlight being on your campus, do you guys feel pressure to make something happen?
I don't think we feel pressured to make things happen, because we've been working since the beginning of this semester to make change on our campus as Unheard. We've been doing things this entire semester, week after week, sitting down with administrators, hosting events, trying to push these 7 grievances that we presented to our president at the very beginning of the semester. So we don't feel pressure. We've been doing what we've been doing since the beginning.
Which is a day in the life at this point.
A day in the life as a Black student at the University of Oklahoma. What's that like? You say it's tense now, but then you also say you're not surprised that the video came out. Can you tell me before and after of life as a Black student at the University of Oklahoma?
I think the difference now is definitely, it's not usually as tense. Maybe because it's in a lot of ways it's probably it's one-sided, but it was normally pretty close, and Black students would report feeling certain ways, and other students of color and from other marginalized groups would report feeling certain ways. But now, no one can ignore it. I think that, day in the life, I meant day in life in terms of what Unheard is doing and working, they're pushing on campus. But in terms of what it's like to be Black at OU, there are some things, like you said, microaggressions that are pretty prevalent. Being the only Black person in your class, things like, wondering about scholarships and the resources that sometimes students don't have, that people don't always remember that Black students need in order to be successful. And I think it's something that the Black community typically is pretty close-knit, and so we normally would go to each other for those things, kind of lean on each other. So that's kind of how we dealt with these things. It stinks now because now it's not just us feeling it. So we say it sometimes, people don't understand it, and now this happened, and now everybody's like, oh, so is this what always happens, or is it a one-time thing, or what is that? So it's some interesting conversations happening right now.
This question is for both of you. What would you tell a young Black student that will be entering as a freshman at the University of Oklahoma? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that the University of Oklahoma is a great place. It's a great institution. There's tons of resources here for you. Our Black community, this event has really brought us together. We're here to support one another. We're here to move forward, and we're here to make OU a better place for those students that come after us.
I definitely have to agree. I think if you saw pictures from the different marches and rallies, I think we definitely have support from other ethnic groups. But I hope what people see is that Black people take care of their own here, and the community is going to come out for you when you need them to.
I applaud you young ladies for all your efforts and what you're doing down there. All eyes are on you guys. The whole world's watching. And I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies. I'll talk to you later. Go fight that good fight, man.
Thank you.
All right, see ya.
Go to BET.com/what's at stake and get involved by using #what's at stake across all social media.